Let's talk to that about with Peter O'Connor. He's from Shaw Partners and he's joining us live. Peter, welcome to the program. Look, in our conversations in the past, I know you've referenced this destruction of human history as being shocking. What do you make of the executive cleanout that happened on Friday? Does that go far enough?
Nadine, it was a necessary outcome and a step on the road to recovery for Rio Tinto, but it's certainly not the end of this journey. So all the headlines obviously captured those changes on Friday, but I think it goes beyond the C-suite, as you mentioned. The board needs to look at what they have done as well as part of this process. I think if I was a director or a chairman, I'd be feeling a lot of heat at the moment. So that will play out over time, and it's very rare you get major C-suite cleanouts and a board at the same time. If I go back 20 years, I remember BHP in 1999 doing something that magnitude, but it's rare. So typically the board may change and evolve and review what it's done over the next couple of AGM cycles, but a lot of pressure there still. So shareholders are going to keep the dialogue up as they have. More open-minded and on the feedback from Australia, I think the board will be now, given they weren't initially. So it's not over yet. Still some way to run, I would have thought.
Peter, this is putting aside, the wanton destruction that happened in the Pilbara, which I think it goes without saying, we hope nothing like that will ever happen again. But, we're talking about a leadership vacuum pretty much at Rio Tinto. So if you look at it purely from a shareholder's perspective, is this a weakened company? Its social license to operate clearly in the Pilbara has been damaged. So does it make it a less attractive investment?
I think Friday's rally, particularly Friday night's rally today as well, is a reflection that it's like a moment of relief that the market's saying we can put behind us this 4 months of uncertainty and start looking at the issues you've raised, which is, will there now be uncertainty about the lack of CEO? But I think given the culture of the company beyond just this near-term issue, but looking back over decades, they've got a strong leadership backdrop. So they should manage through this. It's not perfect to have a transition where you don't have a candidate to step straight in. But either way, the current CEO is effectively a lame duck being there. So this vacuum will be there. And this is where the board comes in. A strong chairman would have been ideal at this time, but given he's under some pressure and heat as well, it makes it a little bit awkward. So yes, absolutely. Short-term, Nadine, the beyond what I think is a relief rally for Rio at the moment, there will be some questions asked about how long, who, what does it mean, change of culture, will this person be a lightning rod for change, and where will they come from, what will they do? So yeah, there will be uncertainty, but the longer term view, beyond just the next sort of 6 months out to this replacement, it should be a better placed company, as it was when the Sam Walsh and Chris Lynch took over in 2012 and steadied the good ship Rio and got it back onto what I term, it got its mojo back, which it hadn't had post the Alcan acquisition in 2008. And prior to that, Rio was the preeminent mining company. It has the DNA and the bones to get back there. It's got the asset base to do that. It's lost its way again, unfortunately, twice in less than 2 decades. So, yes, difficult period ahead, but I think the journey is worth the pain. But there could be some headwinds, but that will play out over the next 3-6 months.
Fascinating, isn't it, when you look back at a company and you can say that it's lost its way at a couple of times, the ship's been righted. That's sort of a conversation for another day. You've got to think, though, and to be honest, it's happened. BHP, the boards, the management, Fortescue Metals, all of those other operators have been put on notice, haven't they? Do you think that there might be skeletons in the closet that will come out and could potentially cause problems for shareholders?
Maybe not problems yet, but I think it's given the companies you mentioned and all the companies in the Pilbara and iron ore just that wake up to go out and review all of your heritage issues. And we know on Friday, BHP's re-engaged with their heritage partners and looking at reviewing that process, and they've highlighted there are somewhere in the order of 40 or 45 sites which they've been given permission to mine and therefore blast. And I stress they've got permission officially, but they will review that, and going forward maybe that means a change of plans, a change of production profiles, a change of how BHP, Fortescue, Rio mine, and will the production numbers they've talked about previously be able to be delivered? And that's a question we'll see play out over the next couple of months as well. But it's certainly, if I was at BHP or Fortescue, I'd be delighted I've got this opportunity, just with Rio copying a lot of the focus, to review that heritage process. But I would expect that most companies would have in their approvals portfolio situations which they may need to review, and they may need to review them quite quickly, which is what BHP is doing. So kudos to them for getting on top of it, but I think they're delighted that their partner's copying all the heat at the moment.
Okay, all right. Well, look, Peter, we've got to leave it there for today. Thank you. I've been looking to get your view on all of that, and we look forward to speaking soon.
Thanks, Nadine. Nice to talk.
Peter O'Connor there joining us from Shaw and Partners.